Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
Good morning. It is 9:01 on this Tuesday. It's the 25th day of July right here on our daily show on RiverBender.com. CJ Nasello here with you. Going to be a great show today, and I'm really excited for it. But, man, I am finally starting to feel better. Monday, I had some false hope. There was a false flag operation going on. I woke up, thought, here we go, and then made it about till 11 and went, never mind, let's just reset. So, the server is reset today, and we're ready to get going. We got a little bit of a lighter show today because, as you guys know, the last couple of days haven't been feeling too good and wanted to make sure that we're, keeping everybody safe. So we rescheduled some folks to Wednesday and Thursday, and going to stay on the line today with Coach Brian Hoener on the 10 o'clock and get an update on the Marquette soccer season. As, August 7th is just around the corner. It's so bizarre to me, when I was a kid, it seemed like June just never ended. It was, June was really the month, and even July, that was, the fun part of it. And then August, it just kind of crept closer and closer to school. But now, 7 years out of being out of high school and a couple years of being out of college, the summer, it's not even there anymore. It just seems like it's May and then it's August. So with that being said, with so many people on vacation and coming back into town and maybe just being busy this week, it's been kind of nice to kind of, let the hair down a little bit and relax and chew on the fat and talk about things going on in the town today. So make sure you sign up for your daily email update. You'll never miss out. You can join myself and over 60,000 people each and every day of the work week and on Saturday with Around the Riverbend. We'll take you to Wood River first. Dan Brannon is our content director at RiverBender.com, and he reports the following. At 4:09 a.m. on Monday, July the 24th, the Wood River Police Department received a 911 call reporting a person had been shot near the 800th block of Tennyson Street in Wood River. Emergency personnel and Wood River Police responded immediately to the scene. Wood River Police Chief Brad Wells with the following quote, "The Wood River Fire Department and Emergency Medical Services responded and began to treat the victim at the scene. Several people were at the single-family residence. Several police agencies, including the Madison County Sheriff's Office, the Alton, Roxana, South Roxana, Hartford, East Alton, Bethalto Police Departments responded to assist Wood River police officers at the scene. The victim was transported by ambulance to the Wood River Police Department, where he was transferred to a helicopter. He was flown to a St. Louis area hospital. The victim died at the hospital of an apparent gunshot wound. An autopsy is pending. The victim was identified as Wood River resident Jacob A. Wall, 23 years of age. A quote from Chief Wells, "People at the scene were interviewed and taken to the Wood River Police Department. A person of interest who was not at the residence when the officers arrived has been taken into custody. The investigation is ongoing by investigators with the Wood River Police Department, Madison County Sheriff's Office, and the Illinois State Police. The chief did emphasize that this was not a random act of violence. The investigation shows the people present at the home were invited guests at the home," Chief Wells said. "More details will be released when they become available." Also in the news today from Dan Brannon from East St. Louis, the United States District Court in East St. Louis did announce on Monday that a district judge sentenced a California man to spend 100 months in federal prison after he admitted to distributing methamphetamine to Southern Illinois. Julian Yarborough, 34, of Long Beach, California, pled guilty to 3 counts of distribution of methamphetamine. In addition to his prison sentence, Yarborough will serve 3 years of supervised release. In total, the packages exceeded 100 grams of methamphetamine. In the first 2, Yarborough disguised the methamphetamine in toys intended for children. In the third package, he disguised narcotics in a kitchen appliance box. Law enforcement located his fingerprints on both the drugs and the packaging. The investigation was conducted by ATF, the Drug Enforcement Administration, and the United States Postal Inspection Service. Assistant U.S. Attorney John Trippi prosecuted this case. Also in the news today, in Alton, the Alton Fire Department battled a difficult fire in hot conditions at 9:16 p.m. on Sunday in the 3700th block of Horn Avenue. Alton Deputy Fire Chief Matt Fisher said that when the fire department arrived, the house was fully involved with fire coming out of multiple windows. He said the firefighters confirmed in rapid fashion that there were not any occupants in the blaze. The humidity was pretty bad, so our people took breaks and made a fairly quick hit on it, Deputy Chief said. He continued, "We called in the state fire marshal to investigate, and they are investigating with the Alton Police Department." Fisher said he could not state the cause of the fire at this point as the state fire marshal's investigation continues. Also in the news, too, from Dan Brandon in Cottage Hills Fire Protection District members were dispatched at 12:30 a.m. on Monday for a fully involved garage fire in the 500th block of Wood River Avenue in Cottage Hills. Mutual aid was requested from Bethalto, Rosewood Heights, and Meadowbrook fire departments. Fosterburg Fire Department covered Cottage Hills Station while they were on the scene. IEMA was also at the scene providing water to firefighters. There were no injuries in this incident. No cause yet has been released, although the garage appears to be a total loss. Also in the news from Jerseyville, Dalton Brown reporting that 3 individuals have been charged with a range of crimes, including unlawful possession of weapon by a felon, damage to government property, and more in Jersey County over the past week, according to recent court filings. Venice Arrieta, 43, of Alton, was charged with unlawful possession of a weapon by a felon and driving on a revoked license. On July the 18th, she, quote, knowingly possessed a taser or stun gun, end quote, after being convicted of a felony, court records show. Arrieta was also charged with driving on a license which had been revoked due to driving under the influence. She had previously been charged with driving on a revoked license on the following dates and counties: in October 2007, January 2008, July 2010, October 2010, May 2011, August 2012, and August in 2017, a Super Class 3 felony charge was issued for the weapon possession offense, while a Class 4 felony was issued for the driver's license offense, bail set at $25,000. Dakota Harris, 21, of Jerseyville, was charged with criminal damage to government property. Court records indicate that between June 23rd and July 6th, Harris, quote, spray painted the Jersey County Courthouse with orange spray paint. Harris charged with a Class 4 felony, and her bail was not noted. Ryan Powers, 40 years of age, of Grafton, was charged with violating an order of protection. On July 17th, Powers allegedly entered onto property at an address protected under that order, according to court filings. Powers had previously been convicted of violating an order of protection on October the 8th of 2019 in Calhoun County. A Class 4 felony charge was issued for the order violation. Bail for Powers set at $20,000. And please note the issuance of charges is based solely upon probable cause, and all suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Dan Brandon reporting out of St. Louis that Boeing has announced its future aerospace program would be a $2 billion investment in St. Louis, which would create 500 jobs. The company will seek tax breaks, and Boeing is in discussions with St. Louis International Airport about the expansion. St. Louis County Executive Sam Page issued this statement. This project will reinforce our dominance as a region that builds the future of aviation, creates pathways to exciting careers, and showcases the pride and talent of St. Louis County. Boeing would receive tax breaks on the expansion that would amount to 50% break on real and personal property tax for 10 years if St. Louis County approves this proposal. There would be no tax breaks on existing taxes. Boeing announced on Monday it is deepening its support of the International Civil Aviation Organization and its efforts to promote aerospace safety, security, and sustainability. The company yesterday named its first liaison to the United Nations agency, which is based in Montreal. We'll keep you updated as more details do emerge. We'll take a look at weather real quick right here at 9/11 on this 25th day of July. It is going to be warm for the next couple of days, so if you don't need to go outside, just don't. Humidity right now at 81%, but today it will be mostly sunny and hot. You will have a danger of dehydration and heat stroke if outside for extended periods of time, so be mindful for your pets too. And tonight, it will be partly cloudy, but it will be humid. It feels like 90 right now, but currently the temperature, the real temperature, at 79 degrees. You can call 618-465-4545 for time and temperature all day long. This time powered by Tom Lane with State Farm. But throughout the week, tomorrow going to be 95 degrees. They're predicting temperatures upwards of 100 throughout the Metro East with a chance of thunderstorms. Then on Thursday, 101 degrees for the high, 75 for the low. And then on Friday, it is going to be brutal. 102 degrees for the high, 75 for the low. And then on Saturday, back to normal. Mid-90s for the high, low 70s for the low. And that's a look at your weather forecast at 9:12, though. But hey, before we take a quick break, I got to tell you about a thing I saw that was just really fascinating. So I've driven, Interstate 75 in Georgia once or twice, and the roadside landmark is back. Listen to this. So nearly 5 years after an earlier version fell by the winds of Hurricane Michael, the giant Big Peanut on Georgia's highway is back. The giant peanut is made of sheet metal, this time not fiberglass. It's a symbol of pride in the heart of South Georgia's peanut belt, as well as an enticement for tourists to pull off that highway in a small town of Ashburn. The Chamber of Commerce down there raised nearly $80,000 to replace this giant peanut, which had saluted motorists since 1975 until it was blown down by Hurricane Michael. They also said that Turner County residents raised thousands of dollars for this as well. The peanut atop a brick pedestal has come to symbolize the county of 9,000 people, which is halfway between Macon and the Florida state line. Rebecca Miller, the Chamber's executive director, said it's a fitting tribute to peanut farmers in the county where almost everyone is touched by agriculture. Community leaders spent about $70,000 to replace the peanut, holding the remaining money for maintenance. They hired Cole Surser of Surser Machine and Fabrication in nearby Rebecca to make the peanut, so locally made too. I just think it's great because it took, listen to this, 700 to 800 hours to rebuild the landmark, and it weighs about 5,000 pounds from the bottom of the brick pylon to the top of the peanut. They say it's around 40 feet tall too. So there you go. Next up is making the Big Peanut feel more welcome in its social media age. Miller said that Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis once took a selfie with the previous giant peanut, and she plans to set up a selfie spot so tourists can take the best angle with the new Big Peanut. I just saw that and wanted to share that with you guys because I drive that road. I've driven it a long time going down to Florida, and then, with traveling with soccer and wrestling, I've seen the peanut, and for 5 years that thing's been gone. But there you go. My prayers have been answered at 9:14 and a little bit of change. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, and we're going to talk a little bit more with some news stories. It's been busy this week, and we're just going to go through some of those news stories more in depth than the top of the hour headlines. We'll take a look at the events going down the pipeline this week, and a little bit more fun right here in the 9 o'clock hour. Then, like I said, in the 10 o'clock, we're going to talk to Coach Brian Hoener about the upcoming boys soccer season and really Marquette athletics as a whole, with Coach Hoener being the athletic director. We're going to get some insights and so much more in the 10 o'clock. So just sit back, relax. I know we normally have a guest in the 9 o'clock, but today, with me still kind of coming back to it because I really don't remember yesterday's show, we're going to hang out a little bit. 9:15, we'll take a quick break. Our daily show rolls on after this.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices. Located on Humbert Road in Alton.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank. The local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to Our Daily Show. It is a Tuesday right here in downtown Alton, and I'm starting to come to it a little bit. Hey, Treasurer for Madison County, Chris Lesser, did report that two Madison County officials on Wednesday on its explosive growth of its investments. Here's a quote from Slusser. "We are on pace for record returns on county investments. We are projecting $9.7 million in investment income this year, up from a previous record of $5.1 million last year." Slusser presented an investment report at the Madison County Board meeting last week, showing the increase in investment income. From 2011 to 2016, the county earned an average of $747,000 annually. And he continues, we took over in 2017, and since that time, we've averaged $4.41 million per year. That's a $31 million increase in the past 6+ years. Slusser said he has used his 15 years of investment experience to overhaul the county's portfolio since taking office in late December 2016. "We focused on increasing income by diversifying the portfolio and actively managing the funds," he said. In 2016, there were only 86 investments in the county's portfolio and 71 were CDs. Now, a quote from Slusser, "Now we have 693 holdings, including a mix of municipal bonds, corporate bonds, mortgage-backed securities, federal agency bonds, CDs, and treasury bonds." Slusser continues that the Illinois Public Funds Investment Act doesn't allow us to purchase stocks, mutual aid, mutual funds, or junk bonds. Slusser said the past 5 years, Madison County has held the top performing investment portfolio in the state. "We currently hold about $60 million in cash between money market and government pool accounts, which is earning nearly 5% on average. This allows us easy access to fund to pay for bigger ticket items without ever selling any of our bond investments," Slusser said. He employs a buy and hold strategy with the bond investments, so as interest rates fluctuate, the portfolio is protected from any losses. "The big increase in income provides revenue to fund the county's budget as an alternative to increasing property taxes. It helped the county board to freeze the property tax levy during the past 7 years as well, saving our taxpayers millions of dollars." That's the final quote from Slusser. Back here locally in Alton, Dalton Brown reporting on the Committee of a Whole meeting, and Alton Mayor David Goins announced at the meeting that was held Monday, July the 24th, that he would be holding future meetings to discuss the best ways to use the remaining American Rescue Plan Act funds to address homelessness in the city. Mayor Goins said he's, quote, "in the process of reaching out to various organizations and entities that fall under the categories of affordable housing, homelessness, economic development, small business support, and youth development, learning, and recovery programs." A quote from Mayor Goins, "In all of these categories, I'm reaching out to various entities. In regards to affordable housing and homelessness, reaching out to many entities because the best way we figured out how to do this is just to bring the various stakeholders and to sit down and come up with a plan on how best to utilize this ARPA funding, basically get the most bang for our buck." Mayor Goins added that the overall goal is not only Mayor Goins added that the overall goal is not to only remedy the current homelessness, but also prevent future homelessness in collaboration with the Department of Planning and Zoning. It's early in the infancy stages, but we're looking at ways to stop homelessness, so to speak, Mayor Goins said. "We can focus on our residents who actually are owner-occupied and support them in regards to various things that end up making them homeless." So that's another initiative, not just addressing the homelessness, but also trying to prevent future homelessness in our community. He said he's seeking the input of small businesses, organizations, and more as the city looks for solutions and ideas for, quote, "the most effective means of spending this ARPA money. We're just beginning to collaborate, and we're going to be, in the very near future, setting up meetings and to begin to collaborate, and hopefully I can have a report at a later date with the progress of where we're going," he said. Later in the same meeting, Alderman John Meehan said constituents have been reaching out to him about certain historic houses that are slated for demolition. Meehan asked if there was a formal process a citizen could go through if they wanted to buy a house slated for demolition to remodel or renovate it. While the answer depends on whether or not the address is city-owned property, residents are advised to contact the city's Building and Zoning Department or the Department of Planning and Development. In related news, the City Council approved following bids for property demolitions. 2419 Elizabeth Street, $10,440 bid from Supreme Trucking and Excavating. 320 Harriet Street for $11,700. That bid was from Stutz Excavating. And then 1126 Central Avenue for $13,880. That was another bid from Supreme Trucking and Excavating. A full recording of the July 24th meeting can be watched at the top of the article detailing this, or on RiverBender.com/video. Wanted to take you through the events that are happening throughout the week and weekend, so make sure that you guys are up to date and in the know. East Alton Farmers Market taking place today this afternoon at 3 p.m. If you go out, please stay hydrated, stay cool, don't overexert yourself or stay out for an extended period of time. Get plenty of water. And it's also first responders night at the East Alton Farmers Market. I was looking at that on their Facebook page. Then the Jersey County Farmers and Artisans Market takes place at 4 p.m. at the Jerseyville City Center Plaza. And then at 6, the Alton branch of the NAACP is holding their monthly meeting at the Tango Event Center at 6 p.m. this Tuesday. Tomorrow, just one thing to look out for, that's Celebrate Recovery, and that's there's some weekly Celebrate Recovery meeting right there in Alton. On Thursday, a party to remember at the Cambridge House of Maryville. And then Wood River Farmers Market, that takes place in the afternoon on Madison Avenue and 143 and 1st Street. How All Anon works. This is the weekly meeting. I don't know if you guys remember Shirley S. calling in a couple of months back talking about this. This is a support group for individuals that are affected with loved ones that are battling alcoholism. And it's a great group that really comes together and supports each other. This is for the loved ones of the alcoholic in their lives. This is their support group. It's a really great group. It's a great opportunity. If you have a chance to go out there, if you need to be a part of it, or if you want to help grow the organization here locally, you can head on over to OSF St. Anthony's Health Center. They will direct you to that meeting location. Christmas in July Brush and Lunch. The Jersey County Arts Council, 11 a.m. Thursday at the Jerseyville First Presbyterian Church. That sounds like a lot of fun. Then at Senior Services Plus at 11 a.m. on Thursday. Listen to this. Anxiety and depression screenings at SSP. That takes place at 11 a.m. on Thursday, July the 27th. Just to keep you guys informed, the Village of Brighton Farmers Market takes place at 4 p.m. at Schneider Park on Thursday afternoon. Maryville Farmers Market takes place at 5 on Thursday at Furman's Park. Grafton, Music in the Park, 7 p.m. right there at Grove Park in Grafton. And then the night market on Broadway right next to Germania and Jacoby Arts Center in that beautiful green space, coming up this Thursday. Then on Friday, the 80th annual Healing and Hope Novena to Our Lady of the Snows. That takes place at 7:30 p.m. in Belleville at the National Shrine of Our Lady of the Snows. Then at 11 a.m., AARP is bringing a presentation on wills and powers of attorney at Senior Services Plus. That's a very insightful presentation for anyone to learn more information. That's at 11 a.m. at SSP. Film Photo Walk with Jeff Soss, 6 p.m. at Jacoby's Art Center. That's on Friday, July the 28th. This is at the Genealogy and Local History Library. I've talked with Andrew and Mary about this. I love the Film Flashback Fridays. Live and Let Die. This is at 6 p.m. at the Genealogy and Local History Library in Alton on Friday, July the 28th. Friday night live music at Alton VFW, Post 1308. Friends of the show, Denver Way, Trent Band. Public is welcome. They want you out there. Then movie Under the Stars for everyone. At 8:30 p.m., grab the little ones and watch A Bug's Life at the Nature Institute at 8:30 with their movie Under the Stars presentation. We'll take you right into Saturday. The Alton Farmers and Artisans Market again taking place at 8 a.m. Then the 80th Annual Healing and Hope Novena to Our Lady of the Snows continues all week long. Country Vibes Flea Market and Farmers Market in Bunker Hill, that takes place at 9 a.m. And then at 10 a.m., the 2023 All Ages Summer Reading Finale taking place at the 6 Mile Regional Library District in Granite City. At 10 a.m. on Saturday, the Carlinville Car Show taking place at Carlinville Square. Then on Saturday still, the Land of Goshen Community Market at 10 a.m. in Edwardsville. At Treehouse Wildlife Center, the second annual Christmas in July sale taking place in Dow. And then at Old Bakery Beer Company, starts at 11:30 a.m. this Saturday. Oktoberfest in July. And then at the Woodlands, it's Fosterfest at 6:30 p.m. And then on Sunday, you got Soul Sunday at the Fuller Dome with our friends at Edwardsville Unity. Bethalto Market in the Park taking place at 9 a.m. The Carolyn Concert featuring Dale Lockhart taking place at 5 p.m. And then, again, the 80th Annual Healing and Hope Novena to Our Lady of the Snows taking place all week long. The event starts on Friday. With that being said, it is 9:30, and when I come back, I got the best places for your summer. I promise I do get paid. I'm just, kind of getting the cobwebs out. It's almost like Mike Tyson just knocked me out for 3 nights straight. And just waking up every day trying to remember, what I do for a living. 9:31, we'll take a quick break. But before I do, let me tell you about Lisa Webb and 3rd Street Realty. A little bit different this week because I'm taking care of, my dog Nico and the parents' dogs. And they're in London right now having a good old time. And enjoy. It is very hot over here, so you got out just in time. I haven't had much time in my house this week as I'm, not feeling the best and then taking care of the dogs, but I cannot thank Lisa Webb enough. Finally being able to, get that TV hung up on the wall and bring the computer over so I can start being productive at home and really putting the place together. It's looking great. And the reason I'm even able to do that is because of Lisa Webb and all of her help in getting me connected on that first-time home buyers program. I paid $585 to close. Think about that. I mean, me personally, because of all the help and all the guidance and education that Lisa Webb gave me, I moved in with peace of mind knowing that I'm going to be okay. It's a little scary. Don't get me wrong. There's still a little bit of, some nerves rising and things like that. But really, with an advocate like Lisa Webb, the process was easy. All I did was I went and looked at that house. And then 2 days later, we were having that conversation of, all right, you need to go meet with Deb. You need to bring your paperwork in. Took a little bit longer than expected, but I did close, and life's looking pretty good. She can help you to whether you're buying or selling your home, or if you're in that uncomfortable conversation of maybe it's time to short sale or you're heading into foreclosure. Lisa Webb handles it all. 3rdstrealty.com. That is 3rdstrealty.com. And just one more thing about Lisa Webb. She doesn't look at you as a price tag. She looks at you and your family as people, just like everyone should. And that's why I loved using Lisa Webb, and that's why I encourage everyone to. 3rdstrealty.com. That's 3rdstrealty.com.
Nikki here from Newark. It was my birthday, so I told my boyfriend Vinny I wanted the best steak in Jersey. We did a Google search and hopped in the car, and 15 hours later we rolled up to George's Local Brew in Jerseyville, Illinois. It was the best steak I've ever had. They cut them fresh daily. Since it was my birthday, the owner let me spin the wheel of George's, and I won a diamond ring. And then Vinny proposed to me. Talk about the best road trip of my life. George's Local Brew, where every night is steak night.
The I Love the 90s tour is back, featuring Vanilla Ice, Rob Bates, All for One, and Tag Team. It's the return of the I Love the 90s tour, Friday, August 4th, the Alton Amphitheater. Tickets on sale now at MetroTix.com.
Life's better when you're under our roof. Because when you feel totally protected, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. Save up to 27% when you bundle home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
I just got a new air conditioner, top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Lennox.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Lennox products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember.
So it's really weird. It's 9:36, but I don't know why. Every time I think of this song, I think it's 9 o'clock at night, because this was Ray Hartman, who calls in every once in a while. This was his intro music, and I don't know why. I just go, man, this is a great song. And then I realized, dummy, this is what you played for like 2 years. Anyway, with that being said, I wanted to bring you this list. I just love it. So with summer being here, and we're in the dog days of summer, you know, I'm one of those people. I don't know about you guys, but I'm one. By October, I'm always telling folks, hey, you know, this year I'm vacationing. Never happens. I've told people that for 4 years. I keep telling people, you know, every year, I'm going to take at least a week off and just go, or a weekend and just, you know, bring the phone with me, you know, and just by myself, relax, you know, maybe go to the beach. Never make it that far. Never have. Not because it doesn't matter if I have a job or what I'm doing, you know. Hopefully I have a job, and just never get to it. So I'm always kind of envious, because I always, whenever summer comes, I see everyone traveling, and I kind of go, yep, and it's very humid here. Well, here are the best places. You know, if you're like me and you need to plan your own staycation, okay? When staycations could be, you know, I think upwards of 4 hours. I think you can drive 4 hours and call it a staycation, because you're still close. That's up for debate too. But here are the best places in the world, or the country, if you want a staycation. Number 1, of course, is Honolulu. 2 is Orlando, Florida. 3, Las Vegas. 4, Tampa Bay. 5, Salt Lake City. We're nowhere close to this list. 6, Charleston. 7, Chicago. Listen to this. So Chicago ranks 9th in recreation, 19th in food and entertainment, and in rest and relaxation is 31. But let's keep going down a little bit further. 32 on the list is where we're located at, in the St. Louis area. 70 in recreation, 4th in food and entertainment, and then rest and relaxation, we are ranking at 105th. Wow, that's pretty bad. Well, when we talk in terms of this is how Wallet Hub breaks this down. The worst place to be a staycationer: Fremont, California; Santa Ana, California; Pearl City, Hawaii; and Chula Vista, California. Now, the way they break this down is they go by swimming pools per capita, you know, golf courses, tennis courts, zoos and aquariums, ice cream shops, beer gardens per capita. And this is where it gets interesting. So let's just start here. If you go down the list, swimming pools per capita, Cleveland, Ohio, and Philadelphia are tied at 1. Chicago's at 3. And Atlanta, Georgia is in 4th. 5th, Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, listen to this number, though. This is what surprises me. That was the most swimming pools per capita. Here's the least, the fewest. Chula Vista, California is 96th, 97th, Fort Worth. Fremont, California, 98. Madison, Wisconsin, which makes sense, 99. And then Anaheim, California. Anaheim, ranked 100 on the list. They were the worst. So the difference between pools per capita from the best city or the most to the fewest with Cleveland and Anaheim is a 39 times the difference between swimming pools per capita. That just amazes me. Now, what about this for tennis courts? Norfolk, Virginia, Omaha, Atlanta, New York, Dallas. They're the top 5, but if you go over here to the fewest, this is where it still surprises me. For tennis courts, Los Angeles is on the list for fewest. Following Los Angeles is Houston, Texas, which I still don't understand. Seattle, Washington, 99, Portland, 100, and then Bakersfield, California, 101. But, just the fact that per capita, and you can say, well, LA has a lot bigger size to it. That's why it's ranking low on the list, but they build everything. I thought there was like 400 tennis courts over there. And then if we go over to the golf course side of thing, I love this. This is why every baseball player spends spring training in Arizona. Peoria, Gilbert, Tempe, Glendale, and Scottsdale, Arizona, all tied for 1. And that's public golf courses per capita. For the fewest, well, again, Corpus Christi, Texas, Houston, Texas, which again surprises me. Bakersfield, California, 177. New York, that makes sense. And then Laredo, Texas. And now the difference between best and worst city, a 47 times difference in golf courses per capita. Now, zoos are what I find interesting. To have multiple zoos and aquariums around where you have 2 or 3 zoos is fascinating to me too. Las Vegas is tied. All of these are tied for 1. Las Vegas, Miami, Tampa, Orlando, and Gulfport. Fewest go over to Jacksonville, Florida, which is surprising. San Jose, California, Phoenix, Arizona, Philadelphia, and New York. Philadelphia and New York, I can see. Phoenix, yeah. San Jose, yeah. Jacksonville, no, I just can't. That seems like a place you'd have an aquarium at least. And then beer gardens per capita, tied for number 1, which all of these make sense. Portland, Oregon, Washington, D.C., Austin, Texas, New York, and Milwaukee for the fewest beer gardens per capita. Tulsa, Oklahoma, that makes sense. Minneapolis, makes sense. Virginia Beach, Fresno, and then Oklahoma City, an 18 times difference in beer gardens per capita between Portland and Oklahoma. And that's what I just think is fascinating. I was going through that and went, they have all these broken down, and we aren't going to go through them all, spas, museums, but, for all the cities in the country, for us to be in the middle of the pack, in Chicago, throw that out of there, top 10. I believe it when I see it. But, St. Louis to be in the middle of it, for us to be right there smack dab in the middle, I think that's okay, We're like the purgatory. Not too bad, not too good. We'll take a look at what happened right here on this date in history. It's 9:43. And here we go. So what I think's really crazy, just right off the bat, okay? So if you look at this, and this is the first thing they hit us with. They decided to do this idea of what was in your shopping basket plus a gallon of gas, okay? And now this is, in the formula, 20 of the basic needed, items like, bread, milk, meat, sugar, etc. But they also added, a gallon of gas to it. And what they did is they broke it down by year. So in 2008, what they said is about $54 to fill up your shopping basket plus a gallon of gas. In 2023, it is now $98.05 to fill up your shopping basket and, get a gallon of gas. I bet you it's $40 just for that gallon. All right, here's what happened on this date in history. In 1921, rum runners are now taunting United States authorities by sitting outside of the 3-mile limit with flags and signs saying, "Come and get it." At night, they disappear under a cover of darkness to areas not patrolled, and small fishing boats unload the cargo and deliver the booze back to shore. In 1943, Mussolini, the prime minister, dictator of Italy for 21 years, forced from office. And then in 1952, after a number of years during which there were revolts, Puerto Rico became a self-governing commonwealth of the United States. The head of the state is still the United States president, and federal legislative branch is the United States Congress. The country is currently run by the New Progressive Party of Puerto Rico. And 1978, Leslie Brown gave birth to the world's first test tube baby. In vitro fertilization delivered by C-section in England. Dr. Patrick Steptoe and Dr. Robert Edwards developed the process to conceive a child in a laboratory and then plant it in a uterus to develop normally. That happened on this date in 1978. And 1992, after 20 years of boycotts of the Olympic Games, the Barcelona Olympic Games became the first games with no major boycotts and a record number of, get this, 169 nations taking part in the opening parade. And then in 1999, just 3 years after being diagnosed with testicular cancer, Lance Armstrong won the first of 7 consecutive Tour de France's. On this date in 2000, that's when George Bush chose Dick Cheney to be his running mate in that election. And really, that's about all that was exciting that happened on this date in history. For birthdays today, Matt LeBlanc from Friends, even older today, born on this date in 1967. Then on this date in music, some pretty interesting ones, too. We'll start off with this one. In 1995, Charlie Rich, the Grammy Award-winning country singer, died in his sleep at the age of 62. He was the one behind The Most Beautiful Girl and Behind Closed Doors. In 1984, Big Mama Thornton died at the age of 58 in Los Angeles of heart and liver complications. She had a number 1 R&B in 1953 with Hound Dog, which was later covered by Elvis, and then she wrote and recorded Ball and Chain, which Janis Joplin ended up recording as well. In 1981, Air Supply went to number 1 with The One That I Love, the group's only United States number 1 and the first Australian band to top the United States charts. In 1980, AC/DC released their 6th internationally released studio album, Back in Black, the first AC/DC album recorded without former lead singer Bon Scott, who died on February the 19th of that year at the age of 33. The album to this date has estimated to sell 49 million copies worldwide, and it is the best-selling hard rock or heavy metal album as well. Also in 1969, Neil Young appeared with Crosby, Stills, and Nash for the first time when they played at the Fillmore East in New York. Young was initially asked to help out with the live material only, but ended up joining the group on and off for the next 30 years. Dressed in Canterbury Street threads, the ever-changing Bob Dylan on this date in 1965 plugged in for his headlining set backed by the Butterfield Blues Band at the Newport Folk Festival. Folk music purists tried to boo him off stage while the rest of the audience gave him an enthusiastic response. It is usually said that the reason for the crowd's hostile reception was Dylan abandoning, the orthodox folk methods and plugging in that electric guitar. And then A Hard Day's Night by the Beatles in 1964 started a 21-week run at the top of the United Kingdom charts. This was the first Beatles album to be recorded entirely on 4-track tape, allowing for good stereo mixes. That's a look at what happened on this date in history, and it's 9:49. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, talk some news next in downtown Alton.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Man, oh man, I'm feeling better, but still a little bit of a hump, jump, hump, and a hurdle to go. It's 9:51. A presentation was given at the last Glen Carbon Village Board meeting earlier this month to teach Glen Carbon trustees and residents about the opioid epidemic, dangers of fentanyl, and how to use Narcan, plus much more. Katie Robertson, a former Edwardsville Community School District No. 7 board member, was joined by Violet Book of Chestnut Health Systems for the presentation. Roberson began by citing the story of Anna Schmidt, an 18-year-old Edwardsville High School senior who died from a fentanyl overdose earlier this summer. She said Anna's family gave her permission to use her name and share her story. Her parents, by all accounts, had done everything right, Roberson said. They had hard conversations and had systems in place. They had done all the things that a parent would think to do to protect their children. She then shared part of the viral Facebook post explaining the entirety of Anna's story. She included the following statistics. According to the DEA, fentanyl is now the leading cause of death for Americans aged 18 to 45. In 2020, more people died from fentanyl than COVID-19, car accidents, cancer, and suicide combined. On May 8, 2023, St. Louis and Southern Illinois DEA, they recovered 1.3 million fentanyl pills. Roberson added that the DEA is currently struggling with, quote, fake, unquote, pills containing fentanyl but designed to look like other prescription pills. She said the public can't trust a dealer and should not take any pills that were not given to them by a pharmacy or a legally regulated supplier. If they are uncertain where a pill came from, they should have it tested, she added. We have a pretty good idea who gave that pill to Anna. We aren't certain they knew they were giving her straight fentanyl, she said. Oftentimes, dealers don't realize. They often aren't smart enough to know the difference. Roberson shared even more statistics and information in her full presentation, which can be watched at the top of the RiverBender news story or on the Village of Glen Carbon Facebook page. Violet Book with Chestnut Health Systems explained that the opioid crisis began when doctors began prescribing patients with severe pain opiates such as morphine, heroin, and even fentanyl under the notion they were not addictive, a claim which later turned out to be false. Book added that not everyone who takes opiates becomes addicted the first time, but some individuals with substance abuse disorder can be more prone to that addiction. She provided more detailed information on how to spot a potential overdose and how to use Narcan in that full presentation that we encourage you to check out. A quote from Violet: "It's our job to go out in the community and do exactly what we're doing here tonight. Educate you on what's going on with the opioid epidemic, how to use Narcan, and make sure that Narcan and training are available for everyone for free." Book added that Narcan is available from Chestnut 100% cost-free, and they also have fentanyl test strips, anonymous reporting forms, and much more available. For more information, you can email sr-narcan@chestnut.org. A full recording of that presentation from Roberson and Book is available at the top of the story or on the Glenn Carbon Facebook page, but wanted to make sure that you were aware of the presentation. Dalton Brown does a fantastic job of covering all city council meetings, and wanted to make sure that we highlighted that for you, and then wanted to fill you in too. In Edwardsville, this year's Green Thumb nominations yielded a bumper crop of award recipients from the Edwardsville Beautification and Tree Commission. The annual awards honor efforts to beautify the city through landscaping, flowering, and gardening projects. For 2023, 16 properties throughout Edwardsville are receiving Green Thumb awards and will show off the honor with a Green Thumb sign on site for about a month. Over the past 24 years, the commission has honored more than 200 properties, including homes, neighborhoods, businesses, civic sites, and other locations. Green Thumb Awards not only recognize well-curated yards, but honor the creativity and passion these recipients have for the art of gardening. This is a quote from Sarah Cundiff, the chairwoman of this volunteer committee, which helps oversee the landscaping and plantings at various city sites, including downtown. The awards couldn't be possible without the observations and appreciations of nature's finery by those who submit the Green Thumb Award nominations. Each spring, the Edwardsville Beautification and Tree Commission solicits nominations for the awards, then visits each submitted property as part of the process. Residential, neighborhood, and commercial, along with civic locations, are considered for the awards. However, previous winners, they're not eligible. You can see the full list of the award winners right there on that RiverBender.com article. Hey, wanted to fill you in. It's 9:57, but you have a yard sale coming up. You got an event? RiverBender.com/events, or for the yard sale, RiverBender.com/classified. Hit the yard sale section because, I need to look for more stuff. So I need to go to your yard sale. If you put that on RiverBender, it's free of charge, and you have the entire RiverBender population looking at it and making sure that they have you in their mind as they go out and about to try to find some bargains on a Saturday or Friday afternoon or Saturday morning. So whether or not you got a yard sale, you got anything that you want to get out there, Facebook Marketplace kind of unnerves me. I don't know how you guys feel, but this is me. I don't like the fact that, with Facebook, it buries everything. So if I want to go find, let's say I wanted to find a new, because I can't sit in this bar stool anymore. I want to find a new chair, okay? So I go and I type in office chair on Facebook. I get every office chair on that side of the Mississippi River. I don't get anything that's local here. You can't tell me that nobody's selling an office chair in the 618. So that's why I like RiverBenders, because, it's not buried by the population of, St. Louis County. It's whatever's up there is what's up there. If you put it up there, it will be found. If you got an event, whatever day it's on, if somebody goes, hey, I have nothing to do on the 26th. Let's see what's happening around town. They'll click on the 26th. Boom. Every event that's happening in the Riverbend, right there for you. RiverBender.com/events. It's 9:58. We'll take a quick break to top of the hour news, and then we'll come back with head coach Brian Hoener with the Marquette Catholic Explorers after that.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank. The local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome, 10:03. Welcome back to Our Daily Show. It is the 25th day of July right here at the RiverBender building. CJ Nasello, it's Our Daily Show. 10 o'clock hour coming your way with Coach Brian Hoener in a few minutes, but now it's time for me to take you to what's happening around the Riverbend. Make sure you sign up for your daily email update and breaking news alerts. Content director for RiverBender.com, Dan Brandon, reporting the following. Out of Wood River, at 4:09 a.m. on Monday, July the 24th, the Wood River Police Department did receive a 911 call reporting a person had been shot near the 800th block of Tennyson Street in Wood River. Emergency personnel and the Wood River Police responded immediately. Wood River Police Chief Brad Wells with the following statement. The Wood River Fire Department and emergency medical services responded and began to treat the victim at the scene. Several people were at the single-family residence. Several police agencies, including the Madison County Sheriff's Office, the Alton, Roxana, South Roxana, Hartford, East Alton, and Bethalto police departments responded to assist Wood River police officers at the scene. The victim was transported by ambulance to the Wood River Police Department, where he was transferred to a helicopter. He was flown to a St. Louis area hospital. The victim died at the hospital of an apparent gunshot wound. An autopsy is pending. The victim was identified as Wood River resident Jacob A. Wall, 23 years of age. Chief Wells continued his quote, "People at the scene were interviewed and taken to the Wood River Police Department." A person of interest who was not at the residence when the officers arrived has been taken into custody. The investigation is ongoing by investigators with the Wood River Police Department, Madison County Sheriff's Office, and the Illinois State Police. The chief emphasized that this was not a random act of violence. The investigation shows that people present at the home were invited guests. More details will be released when they become available. A final quote from Chief Wells. Also in the news from Dan Brandon, the United States District Court in East St. Louis announced that District Court judge sentenced a California man to spend 100 months in federal prison after he admitted to distributing methamphetamine to Southern Illinois. Julian Yarborough, 34, of Long Beach, California, pled guilty to 3 counts of distribution of methamphetamine. In addition to the prison sentence, Yarborough will serve 3 years of a supervised release. In total, packages exceeded 100 grams of methamphetamine. In the first 2 packages, Yarborough disguised the methamphetamine in toys intended for children. In the third package, he disguised the narcotics in a kitchen appliance box. Law enforcement located Yarborough's fingerprints on both the drugs and the packaging. The investigation was conducted by ATF, the Drug Enforcement Administration, and the United States Postal Inspection Service. Assistant United States Attorney John Trippi prosecuted the case. Also in the news today, the Illinois Department of Transportation is reminding residents that, weather permitting, the eastbound lanes of East Broadway in Alton and Madison County are closed until July the 26th at 5 p.m. The lane closure is required for Illinois American Water Company continue to work on the sanitary sewer. Motorists can expect delays and should allow for extra time for trips through this area. To avoid the work area when feasible, the use of alternate routes should be considered. Drivers are urged to pay close attention to changed conditions and signs in the work zones. Obey the posted speed limits, refrain from using mobile devices, and be alert for workers and their equipment. One final bit of news for you. The Marquette Catholic Choir was the opening act on Wednesday night at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater right over there in Maryland Heights for the Foreigner and Loverboy historic farewell tour. Foreigner and Loverboy were both some of the 80s biggest hit makers. The show featured more than 20 combined chart-topping songs. Streams of Foreigner's hits have approached 15 million per week, and Loverboy has sold more than 10 million albums. Marquette Catholic Music and Theater Director Brett Klaus with the following statement: "It was a great experience for the students in front of a large crowd with a professional sound system, audio engineers, and all that comes with a national touring show. We are so proud of our performing arts program and these talented students." Marquette Principal Tim Harmon said the choir members have worked hard and that he is very proud of the representation of Marquette Catholic at this concert with big-name rock and roll bands. Congratulations to everyone that was involved. As we take a look at weather right here at 10:08, man, I'm still coming to it, aren't I? It feels like 97 degrees out there, but the real temperature right now is 83 degrees. Today it will be mostly sunny and hot, but be careful. There is a danger of dehydration and heat stroke if you are outside for an extended period of time. If you're an older citizen out there, turn the AC on and stay inside today and let the grandkids or kids come run your errands for you or help you around the house. And then tonight, it will be partly cloudy, but very humid, so be mindful of that. Tomorrow, As it sits, 94 degrees for the high, 74 for the low. This is going to be our only chance of thunderstorms, about a 40% chance on Wednesday. Then on Thursday and Friday, brutal hot. Stay inside. 101 degrees for the high on Thursday and 75 degrees for the low. On Friday, 102 degrees is what they're predicting right now, and then 75 for that low temperature. On Saturday, we're getting back to normal. 93 for the high again, back to 69 for the low. But as it sits right now at 10:09, it's 83 degrees. For more information on weather, you can call Time and Temp 618-465-4545. That's 618-465-4545. Powered by Tom Lane, your State Farm agent. We'll take a quick break, come back with Coach Brian Hoener and the Marquette Catholic Explorers, get a preview of the fall season, and talk some more about the Explorers right here on our daily show.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
10:11, we're going to be here for a couple of seconds because we got to get Coach Brian Hoener on the line. We're still having some connection issues down here. I don't like that. I wanted to bring you this. This is just developing. Want to make sure I have all the appropriate information. I don't know if you guys saw this, but even though it's national news, this is going crazy all over the wire. Bronny James, LeBron James' son, had a cardiac arrest, is in stable condition after collapsing on the court during the USC practice yesterday. If you're just tuning in, this is going nuts on national news. Just blew up our wire. USC signee Bronny James, the son of LeBron James, suffered cardiac arrest during a practice session on Monday. His representative said in a statement the 18-year-old, who's the son of the Los Angeles Lakers star, was transported to a nearby hospital and does remain in stable condition. We're going to keep you updated on that if we get more details throughout the show. But I wanted to fill you in on that as we're waiting to get our internet connection back up and running. But we'll be talking to Coach Brian Hoener here in a couple of minutes. And, right now it's kind of weird because I was thinking about this the other day. There's 2 parts of the year that everyone is just kind of dropping their head, wave, but don't say hi to me and stop me for too long. And that's this dog days of summer is what I'm calling it. The end of July, always slow. The end of the year, with Christmas, nobody's in town. And that's honestly the way I kind of should start booking this show. But I just, it's kind of funny because it's really weird. It's like we're all on this, weird clock. We just don't realize that we're all on the same, the same clock where we know that Our neighbors are going out of town, so we're going to go out of town in the couple of days following that. Then our friends going out of town in 2 weeks. It's really weird how it's like we all have it. It's almost nature's alarm clock where we have certain routines that we all kind of do as a society, and it's just cool to see being here and working all the time. If you ask John, that's debatable, but being here and, kind of working all the time, you get to see everyone taking all these trips and going and having fun. And it's weird how it all goes in a pattern. I don't know. I was just thinking about that the other day, but there's so much to be excited for over the fall. I mean, really, to me, nothing says it's Alton other than really prep sports on Friday nights. I mean, to me, I tell people this all the time. You can give me, Paris, you can give me Rome. You give me Friday nights in Alton with State Street and Johnson's Corner and the Explorers playing football and the Redbirds playing football and then all the teams, really just playing well and everyone enjoying. That's what makes this fun. And so that's why we're going to start having these conversations. We've already had one with my dad, Greg Nasello, the coach for Alton High boys soccer team. We talked to Eric Dickerson yesterday. We're talking to Brian Hoener here in a couple of minutes. It's our daily show on RiverBender.com.
Nikki here from Newark. It was my birthday, so I told my boyfriend Vinny I wanted the best steak in Jersey. We did a Google search and hopped in the car, and 15 hours later we rolled up to George's Local Brew in Jerseyville, Illinois. It was the best steak I've ever had. They cut them fresh daily. Since it was my birthday, the owner let me spin the wheel of George's, and I won a diamond ring. And then Vinny proposed to me. Talk about the best road trip of my life. George's Local Brew, where every night is steak night.
The I Love the 90s tour is back, featuring Vanilla Ice, Rob Bates, All for One, and Tag Team. It's the return of the I Love the 90s tour, Friday, August 4th, the Alton Amphitheater. Tickets on sale now at MetroTix.com.
Life's better when you're under our roof. Because when you feel totally protected, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. Save up to 27% when you bundle home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
It's late September and I really should be back at school.
School is coming down the pipeline, and so are fall sports. On the line now, Coach Brian Hoener. How are we doing today, sir?
Good. Thanks for having me.
You know, I wanted to ask you this. I was just talking to Coach Nasello with Alton High, and I love the idea of the summer league on Sundays. How has that been for the team?
Yeah, that's just a great resource for all the area high schools. You know, James over at Roxana has done a great job putting it on the past two summers, and it's just a way for the guys to get out there and get a little bit of competition. It's, you know, it's fairly laxed. You know, it's not ultra competitive. There's not a bunch of hard tackles and slide tackling and stuff like that. It's more just kind of a bunch of friendlies on Sunday night, and you get an opportunity to kind of evaluate some players, and the players get an opportunity to get some touches on the ball and get a little bit fit. And, you know, they've done such a great job. They've even had some food trucks out there for the fans and stuff like that on Sunday night. So it's just a real great event, and they've done a great job over at Roxana putting it on for all the area schools.
Man, all I know is I grew up in the wrong era. That I missed out on that. That sounds really great. Well, and too, Brian, Coach Hoener, how's the team looking too? I know you guys had a pretty good season last year. Are you guys looking pretty good this year?
Yeah, you know, we had a great season last year, and very pleased, you know, with what we did last year. And you know, but it's a whole new makeup for this year. You know, we graduated. I think it was a total of 10 seniors or 10 or 11 seniors last year, and a good portion of that was our starting lineup. So, you know, we have it's going to be a brand new team. You know, a lot of people this summer and in those summer leagues are trying to define their roles, and we're as coaches trying to figure out what players can do, because a lot of the guys that are going to be contributing this year are guys that have had to work their way up through the JV programs, and now are hopefully getting their opportunities to make some contributions on the varsity side. So it's going to be a brand new team. We, you know, as a coaching staff, to be bluntly honest, we don't know really what to expect, because a lot of this is players that are going to have to prove themselves that they can play and compete at this level. They've done a great job in the summer working hard. I like our attitude. I like our work rate. I kind of like where we're at. But again, until you roll the ball out and play that very first competitive game, you know, we're kind of in a wait and see mode, because we're just kind of, you know, it's a brand new group of guys.
Well, and Coach Hoener, with your experience, you know, I'm sure you've seen the reset button. You know, I hate to say reset button, but whenever you see, you know, older guys, you know, hitting their senior year and moving on down the road, and the younger guys coming up and getting some reps and hopefully taking that opportunity and seizing the moment. What are your initial thoughts whenever you see some younger guys really trying to grab that brass ring? It has to be exciting as a coach too.
Yeah, you know, there's also, you know, there's a big level of excitement for us going into the year, because like you said, this is kind of, you know, last year at this time, we kind of knew what we had because we did have so much experience, but it is exciting to kind of work with a new group of guys and trying to figure out, okay, where can I take this group, and seeing some of these guys improve from their freshman year to their junior year, or, you know, sophomore year to their senior year, you know, to see that level of improvement. And now you're excited for these guys to have the opportunity to see what they can do at the varsity level. And, you know, it's a refreshing thing as a coach, because, you know, the great thing about coaching is every summer and every fall you get an opportunity to work with a new group. Yes, it's the same school and it's the same high school, you know, but it's a new group of guys with new dynamics and new leadership role, new players doing different things. So yeah, it's that refreshment of, you know, hey, it's a new team, it's a new year. That always kind of gets the juices flowing a little bit.
Without a doubt. And Coach Hoener, I've always, I was going to ask you this the last time you're on. What does your summer preparations look like? Because I know some coaches, you know, focus on fitness a lot, and I know some focus on maybe some technical work. What is your summer preparations for the Explorers look like?
Yeah, most of it relies around the technical work. Now, obviously, we try and combine the two and have the opportunity to do some technical work while doing some conditioning. We leave a lot of the conditioning stuff up to the boys. You know, they're at that age where they need to start preparing themselves individually. So a lot of that stuff is hopefully done on their own, and the ones that have success do it on their own, and the ones that fall behind sometimes don't do as much work on their own. But when we get together, it's more the technical side, you know, receiving a ball, distributing a ball, dribbling a ball, shooting the ball, building up those fundamentals, so that way when we get into the season, we can play the style of soccer that we want to play.
Well, and too, I was going to ask you this too, because this is something that when I was playing, you know, high school and going into college, it was always, you know, seeing, you know, a player, and I've been a part of this too, going, hey, you know, you're really great, you know, as a right winger, but for us this year, I think we really need you in the right back. or we need you in the center mid, or we need you here over on the left side of the field. What are your thoughts whenever you're talking to your players about maybe adapting that position? If maybe some are listening today, or maybe some just for advice, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, I think that's something that happens on a consistent basis. With each year, you look at your roster and say, okay, where can this kid fit in and where can he help us? And that might change from freshman year to sophomore year, from sophomore year to senior year. So, and I think, the best thing that we try and advise players is as we're teaching and as we're going through film or a training session, everybody should be paying attention to everything, because at any particular moment, you could go from a center back to a right wing, or you could go from a right wing to a center back, those type of things. And so we try and just develop, yes, you want certain characteristics in certain positions, but we try and make sure that everybody's understanding of what we're trying to accomplish from the team identity, and that way we can kind of incorporate a right back into a center mid if that situation becomes prevalent. And I think the best thing is that the adaptability. If you work hard and if you have the right mindset, and if you can receive a ball and dribble a ball and pass a ball, those are the fundamentals that can take you from a right back to a center mid to a forward, or a forward to a center back. So as long as you have a good fundamental skill set, we can work with you tactically to change the position a little bit and what you're required of that position. But you have to have the fundamentals and that basic skill set to be able to play multiple positions. And one of the great things about playing multiple positions is, it keeps you on the field. If you're strong, if you're a strong center mid, but this particular team has great center mids, okay, well then if you have the right mindset and skill set and attitude, I'll change you from a center mid to a right back, and now all of a sudden you're still on the field as opposed to being on the bench.
I completely agree. That's why I think I played everything but left out. I don't know.
As long as you're on the field, as a player, you should have the mindset of I'll play wherever coach wants me to play, as long as that gets me, in that starting 11.
Well, and something I was talking about too the other day was the fact that there's so many more opportunities for athletes and players now around the area. It seemed like when I was growing up, we were going to Collinsville and we were going to St. Louis and Fenton and all these places, but there's so many great facilities, a great local club, and then the Rock Springs futsal pitch. Does all that help and help build this team going forward?
Yeah, I think it just helps build soccer in general in the area. You have the new futsal facility. You have Glazebrook and our home field over here at Gordon Moore Park with the turf fields that people can get on and utilize. There's just so many. You have good clubs like the Alton Fighting Irish and Glen Ed. There's just so many resources for kids these days. I'm actually out here at Gordon Moore Park right now, and there's three guys getting ready to go into college that are out here working on their game as they prepare to go to college. So there's just all these resources and just different venues for kids to get out and play. And I think that's just helped grow the game. And I think that's why you see strong programs like CM and Alton and our Explorer program. You see some of the top area programs, because the game has grown so much.
Well, and what I'm noticing too, Coach Hoener, is the fact that, a lot of these current athletes, a lot of these current players, their parents, played for Marquette, their parents played for Alton. And it's really cool to see the family lineage kind of passing down through the generations. Is that something you're seeing on your end?
Yeah, it's great to have legacy and generations come through the doors and continue to come through the doors. And I think that shows that, the families think a lot of great things about Marquette, and that's why they tend to send their kids there, or to send nephews or nieces to go there, is because they've had good experiences, with their experience there. So, I think that's just a real testament to the quality of education and the atmosphere of the school.
And now, how many more contact days do you guys have until you're in Dead Week?
Dead Weeks actually starts Sunday, so we're running up against it. So all of next week is starting a Dead Week, and it probably starting at a pretty good time with the way that the temperatures are starting to flare up and stuff like that. You got to be real careful with the upcoming heat.
You ain't a kid. I've got to tell you this, Brian. When I had my first tryouts for Alton High, it was 100 degrees all week long. We did 2-a-days. That was the most brutal of my life. So hopefully you guys get the weather to calm down a little bit before your practices start. August the 7th, correct?
August the 7th, correct.
And then how does that week look as you're building up to games? You guys have your schedule in front of you. When is your first game?
I believe it's either August 22nd or August 23rd. We open in the Metro Cup against Muscuda. Which the Metro Cup's a good opening tournament kind of format for a lot of the area teams. So you don't get a whole lot of time before the first game, but you try and utilize as much of your practice time as possible.
Absolutely. And on top of that too, I was just, it seems like the soccer season has, it's just a marathon. It seems right whenever it gets going into the thick of it, you're playing, back-to-back games. And, I think it just goes back to show how important being fit is and, making sure that you're, staying, conscious about your decisions too. Is that something you stress to the players?
Yeah, the high school season is really kind of a competition schedule. You don't get a whole lot of days to, you got to work through some of your issues on the field. There's very few opportunities for you to really spend 2 or 3 days getting better in practice because you're playing so many games. So yeah, it's definitely a competition schedule, and you're going back to back and 3 games a week sometimes even 4. So you got to be fit. You got to manage your legs. You got to manage your team's their attitude and demeanor, because it can go up and down through a season, and it helps to be deep. The more guys that you can have contribute, the better, because you do end up with sore muscles and back-to-back games where you need guys to step in because other guys are just a little bit off.
Without a doubt. And Coach Hoener, I always tell you I'm going to talk to you for a little bit of time and then I take you longer. My apologies on that. But one final thing, as everyone's getting excited about this program coming up in the fall, what's your thoughts just to the fans that are coming out to watch the team play this year, and what's your message for them?
Well, we would love to have as many people come out and watch us play. I think, the fans that come out and watch us know that we play a good brand of soccer, and our kids compete pretty hard, and we play a great schedule. So, there's always opportunities to find good games, for us, whether it's an Alton game or an Althoff game or a Columbia game or Edwardsville. We try and play some of the top area teams. So there's a lot of good games, and we have a great venue to watch it at, and it's just it's a good open venue at the public park here at Gordon Moore. So there's a concession stand, there's playgrounds, there's all kinds of stuff. So it's just a great atmosphere to watch a game at. Absolutely.
One last question, because I almost forgot about it, and I was going to ask Coach Nasello, but forgot. For someone that's watching that maybe is in that 8th grade, they're getting ready to next year to be in that high school level. They don't have very many people that can help them get better, or maybe help them improve. Is there anything you can give somebody today, just to do on their own to maybe help get some touches on the ball?
Yeah, I would say you always, for most coaches, or at least myself, we always want players that have those fundamentals, and that's a good first touch. So when the ball comes to you, you can settle the ball. You can pass the ball accurately to somebody's foot, and you can dribble the ball. If you really work on in the backyard or against the wall outside, or the basement wall, or whatever you have at home, if you can work on those fundamental skills of passing, receiving, and dribbling, most coaches will be able to do a lot with that. You don't have to worry so much about the moves and the fancy stuff that you see on the internet and all the stuff that all the pros do. Those things will come down the line. But if you can do those basics of passing, receiving, and dribbling, most coaches will be happy when you come into their program, because they'll be able to work with that.
Absolutely. Hey, Coach Hoener, I always appreciate your time. We'll have to talk with you as the season's getting going, and the best of luck this year, and hopefully going and raising another trophy.
Thanks for having me, CJ. Appreciate it.
No problem. 10:32. We'll take a quick break. Our daily show rolls on after this.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect. Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank. The local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
.36, here we go. Time for the All-Star Award on this 25th day of July. Indiana police responded to a report of a burglary at a residence. Well, went down to the basement to get that suspect and found out ain't no robbery, it's a baby deer. The Indianapolis Metro Police Department said in their Facebook post that officers responded to a report of that burglary in the Northwest District, and the story took an adorable turn once they arrived right there at the scene. Wow. Here's the post. I think I need to sue. Picture this. Our brave officers went down to investigate only to discover a baby deer, now named Bambi, seeking shelter. The department shared a video of the officers using a blanket to carefully capture the fawn, bring it back to the home's backyard, and good news, deer's not injured. An Azaic black bear escaped from its enclosure at the Mississippi Zoo when a door, mistakenly left open. That person's fired. Eson Harris, the director of Jackson's Parks and Recreation Department, said the bear, named Miko, was able to leave the door when workers cleaning the animal's enclosure, failed to properly shut it. That's probably step one. As they were leaving, they shut the door, but I love this. I always love a good excuse, Well, I shut the door, but apparently, But apparently the door didn't secure properly. Once the keepers left, the bear then pushed open the door and after eating, walked up and down the back hall for the service area. And Harris told local affiliates, we called for a code red. They were able to walk Miko back in his normal spot. There you go. A man from Oakland County in Michigan was surprised to find he had won the Lotto 47 double play. I saw a message online that somebody had won the Lotto 47 double play and recognized the location. I didn't think there was any way I was the winner. The player chose to remain anonymous. As soon as I checked my ticket, my mind was racing and thinking how I could use this money for my family. He bought the winning ticket in the Carnival Market in Pontiac, Michigan. The winner chose a lump sum of $1 million rather than taking annuity payments for the fooling out. Good for him. It only took him 3 tries to figure out he was the winner. You can't win them all. The captain of a charter fishing boat in Massachusetts was reeling in a bass when a shark jumped out of the water and took a bite right out of that fish. That's how my week's been going. Sorry, guys. Donald Parker, a Harwich firefighter and boat captain with East Dennis-based Prime Rate Sport Fishing, said he was reeling in his catch when a shark with other plans jumped out of the water and decided to bring that thing home to Papa. The shark grabbed it, flipped it over. Everybody was in awe. Well, I was pissed. That's what he said. Parker finished reeling in his catch, discovering he was left with only the fish's head. He said shark sightings, of course, are common in Cape Cod this time of year. It happens every day here. Not an oddball thing, just frustrating. What about this? So an 11-year-old Oklahoma boy was out fishing in a local pond when he reeled in a pacu. Okay, a pacu, a South American fish famous for its mouth full of human-like teeth. The Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation said that Charlie Clinton was fishing in a neighborhood pond when he reeled in the pacu, which is a close relative to the piranha. The officials say the pacu was most likely a former pet released into the pond. Officials wrote that the species is considered invasive and could pose a danger to the local ecosystem. Officials say pacu can grow up to 3.5 feet long. No, thank you. With teeth. And weigh up to 88 pounds, just to, add a little bit of food for thought to you. Anglers who catch pacu in Oklahoma are asked to remove them from the watershed and contact their local game warden, the department said in an Instagram post. It's weird, though. Just like, down in the Everglades, it all starts with pets. These pacus, because I was over there, I don't know if it's still there. There's a fish store right over the bridge in Florissant called Malawi Aquatics, okay? And they sold pacu. And I thought, well, how cool would this fish be? This thing wants to rip my face off. It did. It was aggressive. It'd come up to the tank and, right when you put your hand down, it'd run its head into it because it wanted to eat your finger. It fed it hot dogs. I seen it all at this store. Well, I thought I should get one. This was 9 years ago. Man, time's flying. Well, then all of a sudden, I did about 30 seconds of thinking and said, CJ, you can barely control a puppy. Can you control a pacu? The answer is no. This is what these folks should do. They buy these ridiculous animals and go, oh, that'll be cool to have. I saw an alligator on Craigslist the other day. Yeah, I did. Craigslist, by the way, was still a thing. I saw an alligator for sale here locally, not in Alton, but in North County. But it's just the fact of the matter that people decide that, you know what? Yeah, I think an alligator's for me. I think pacu's for me. I think a python's for me. But they don't realize the damage they're causing their ecosystems because instead of just, it didn't work out, calling the proper official, maybe calling somebody at an aquarium saying, hey, I got this fish I can't take care of. Do you want it? No, we'll just throw it out in the wild. And it just makes no sense to me. But what does make sense is Alton Little Theater. Alton Little Theater is celebrating 90 years in show business, baby, with Monty Python's Spam-A-Lot, and they want you there this weekend, and so do I. This is hilarious. Just hilarious. I was a little worse for wear when Jared and I went to go tape Jared did all the work. I just kind of, sat there in misery. And, I got to watch the show, but Jared was filming everything. And it was really great to see how much, how lively and how fun the cast and crew really comes together. I mean, the camaraderie, the chemistry is so much there with this show. I couldn't stop laughing in between the coughing spells. I was just from the moment we sat down, from the moment we left, I was almost in tears with how funny this performance is. You have got to go see Spam-A-Lot. I'm telling you, you are going to miss out if you don't. You can go see Spam-A-Lot right Thursday. Not right now. Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then on Sunday at 2 p.m. Make sure you get your tickets at Alton Little Theater. Kick off the 90th season of Being a Landmark right here in the 618. For more information, altonlittletheater.org. That's altonlittletheater.org. We're going to take a quick break, come back, wrap up this bad boy on a Tuesday in downtown Alton next.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit altontoyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect. Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBenderRadio.com.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Look at her, she's a bad man,
Welcome back to our daily show, 1048, but who's counting? The Edwardsville Community Unit School District 7 Board did recognize the high school drama club during their board meeting on Monday. Sydney Sinks reporting that the EHS Drama Club was recognized for its successful production of SpongeBob the Musical last spring. The club won 6 awards and performed at the Fabulous Fox Theater through the St. Louis High School Musical Theater Awards also. A quote from Ashley Melton, the EHS drama teacher and director, told the school board the following: "I think Emily, the choral director, and I both knew that this show was special, and it just became something more special when others recognized how special we believed it was." The drama club received 9 nominations, and they took home 6 awards, including recognitions for the ensemble, costume design, and musical direction. They also won the Outstanding Musical Production Level 1 award as well. As part of the St. Louis High School Musical Theater Awards, the cast of SpongeBob the Musical performed a melody of the show's songs on stage at the Fox Theater in St. Louis, and Melton explained that the drama club rehearsed with professionals from the St. Louis Muni and the Fox Performing Arts Charitable Foundation to prepare for the performance. The best part is the kids had the opportunity to perform on the stage at the Fox Theater, which is like playing up at Peoria for the baseball team, EHS principal Dr. Steve Seward explained, "It is a great honor, and not many kids get that opportunity. More than 150 students were involved in the production. In addition to the performing cast, 50 crew members were bused to the Fox to cheer on the drama club during the performances and award ceremony. They were the loudest cheering section, and it just so happened by accident that Superintendent Dr. Patrick Shelton had bought a ticket right in front of them," Melton said, "so we really felt the love that night." For more information about the Drama Club and upcoming productions, you can visit their official website, which is on the article with a hyperlink that'll take you directly to it. Dan Brannon did report also that Edwardsville coaches George Petrolak and Chad Legatos have always had a goal for including the younger generations in running events in whatever way they can each year. Any opportunity the two have, they try to do something for the youth, and it happened to get on Saturday in the 1-mile fun run for kids on the Mud Mountain course at SIUE. The coaches came up with the ideas for the kids to run, and once again, it was a delight to watch the younger kids run with older participants. Several high school and college stars ran the mile with the children in this race. How cool is that? It's a great opportunity for these kids to get out on the course. That's a quote from Coach Legatos. "Anytime you get the young kids involved, especially with running, it's a win-win for everyone. They once had the Friday night lights for the youth track and field and has always wanted to involve the kids with older athletes. Our high school kids do a great job of making these kids feel special," he said. It's a way for them to giving back their time. It's something for the young kids to run with. And overall, Mud Mountain is just a great community event. Really great to see that as well. I wanted to fill you in on one serious bit of news for everybody. Excuse me. The Edwardsville Police Department is joining law enforcement agencies from around 11 states in the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration Region 5 and 7 on July 26th. This is this year's high visibility speed awareness enforcement campaign. The campaign is an effort to address a continued trend of speeding and hazardous moving violations as contributory cause violations leading to personal injury and fatal crashes. Listen to this. Speeding is involved in approximately 1/3 of all motor vehicle fatalities nationwide, and early NHTSA statistical projections for 2022 showed 4,759 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes, which represents a marginal decrease of 0.3% in traffic deaths when compared to 2021. In 2021, there were 5,864 fatal injuries in Region 5's 6-state area, with 1,700, that's about 30.35%, being speed-related fatalities. Traffic crashes result in death due to speeding are historically higher during the summer months of June through September, and speeding is more than just breaking the law as well. We wanted to keep you updated as the enforcement patrols do take place, and that is the Speed Awareness Day. That is on July 26th, tomorrow, Wednesday, so make sure that you're obeying signage, and you should be doing that anyway. Get off the cell phone and make sure everyone's safe on the roadways. It's 10:53. We'll take a quick one. We'll come back, more of our daily show after this.
Nikki here from Newark. It was my birthday, so I told my boyfriend Vinny I wanted the best steak in Jersey. We did a Google search and hopped in the car, and 15 hours later we rolled up to George's Local Brew in Jerseyville, Illinois. It was the best steak I've ever had. They cut them fresh daily. Since it was my birthday, the owner let me spin the wheel of George's, and I won a diamond ring. And then Vinny proposed to me. Talk about the best road trip of my life. George's Local Brew, where every night is steak night.
The I Love the 90s tour is back, featuring Vanilla Ice, Rob Bates, All for One, and Tag Team. It's the return of the I Love the 90s tour, Friday, August 4th, the Alton Amphitheater. Tickets on sale now at MetroTix.com.
Life's better when you're under our roof. Because when you feel totally protected, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. Save up to 27% when you bundle home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving. Bring it on home to me. Yeah, 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 yeah. I know I laughed when you left. But now I know.
It is 10:57. My apologies, guys. I am still just fighting this like crazy. And so it's been a little bit of a rough couple of days for CJ. I'm not going to lie. It's on Friday. I've never since I've done this, ever canceled anything on the air. And so if I do that, it's normally pretty bad. And so I really appreciate Steve Pegram and Brian Hoener for rescheduling with me. I just couldn't do it on Friday. Then Monday, like I said, I really felt good getting into the studio. And by 9:30, it was pretty bad. I'm doing great right now. I'm starting to kind of get a little, tight in the chest again. So we'll see how far I can make it through the day. But it's just really, if you guys get this, be careful because it's sneaky. It's, you think you're doing really good, and then all of a sudden, boom, dose of reality. You're not doing too good. So just be mindful of that. Coming up on the show tomorrow, we're going to be talking to Councilman Councilman Jeremy Plank and Bill Detmars. We're going to be talking to them about, the recent situations in city council. Let's just be honest. I mean, there's a lot of really nasty things being said in the public comment portion. And I wanted to make sure that we got their opinions on the matter as well and got their thoughts as well. So we're going to have a conversation with the two councilmen at the end of the show tomorrow and stay up to date and get their thoughts on how, the situation could be a little bit, more streamlined and more appropriate for, city government. So we're going to have that conversation, and we're also going to be talking to Steve Pegram tomorrow at 9:20. We're going to be talking about the 500-man breakfast with Tim Azell, and then we're going to be talking about the Christmas in July that's coming up in just, a couple of days. We are only 2 days away from Got Faith's Christmas in July event, which is really great. So we get all of that and more. Plus, we'll see what other, fun I can throw out there to you. With that being said, I will see you tomorrow, back with a full slate of guests. I'm glad we got some time to talk today. That was fun. I think we're friends now. On that note, everyone, have a great day. But most importantly, stay cool and try your best to stay out of jail.